Hey guys, we're back here on the Rage Babe Football Podcast, and our special guest is no one other than the commissioner of the league, the AWFL. We've got Rod here on the show. Rod, Mr. Commissioner, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I can't complain, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you.
We appreciate you hopping on here. Webb, thank you for setting this up. You set this up a lot better than you set up your computer.
Why
Smooth
we
out this,
why we
baby.
taking shots at me already? We just got on
He
here.
he opened up with that one. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Webb, you know I love you, bro, but it was right there. It was on the table.
Yeah.
You're right. I
So
get it. I would have done it.
you can trust Webb to call a football game, but don't trust him to set up your home Wi-Fi for your grandma. It's not going to work.
That's what Shrek's for.
That's what Shrek's
1-800
for.
Give me a call.
So-
I'll be there.
Just saving grandmas with their internet connections all across America. Just you and your beard. We could AI a logo. I could just see it right now. Especially after all the
I'm gonna start reaching out to AT&T, T-Mobile, Blue Peak, see if they want a spot on here.
hit up our guy Shrep. He can also be found on the Oklahoma Rage account on Facebook and Instagram.
I forgot I got an obligation. Blue Peak Internet is in the business. Make sure you hit it up.
Hit up Blue Peak. I'm on Blue Peak right now.
It's gonna be on the side of it next year, so.
Let's get it. Mr. Commissioner, let's talk about your background with football. What is your personal football origin story? How did you get involved with the game?
Well, like every young kid, I've been playing since I was a kid. Played middle school, high school, and also played a little bit in college. Played at Tyler Junior College. Once I finished there, I went into semi-pro and didn't understand the ins and outs of semi-pro. One, I thought we would be paid. Another, I thought that we would be covered by insurance. That didn't happen. I thought it would be something like dealing like with college, traveling to the games, you being, you know, driven to the games or flying to the games. But no, everything was solely on me as an individual. That part I didn't like about it, but everything else, it was pretty cool. Other than some of the games being played in pretty much people's backyards. Um, that's the only part of the game I didn't like. But then I tapped into arena with the Wichita Fall Nighthawks, and my experience there was pretty good. But I wasn't there as a player. I was brought in as a regional rep, pretty much scouting players from Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, um, anywhere in the South. That's where I was. And then once I got done with that, uh, ran into the women's football side of things in early 2019 and was coaching in the WFA for the Houston Power. And I stayed with the Houston Power for a couple of years and, learned some things from the WFA, learned some things from the WNFC and from every other women's league around here. And, just pretty much gaining knowledge from those leagues. I just decided to step out on my own and take a leap of faith and, create the AWFL. And here we are.
What was missing from those other leagues that kind of encouraged you and empowered you to take that leap of faith to start the AWFL?
Being proactive. I would say me being a part of the WFA at that time, it was just a reactive league. And, they weren't very open to listening to the owner or the head coach or anybody at that time. And this is no shot to them. I know that people have their way of doing things and that's perfectly fine. But sometimes you have to listen to the people that are beneath you, so that way you can grow. And I think that's where they, kind of lost me as a fan, kind of lost me as a coach. And I just decided, hey, listen, I want to start a league where I'm open to everyone. And I try to make myself available to everyone for the most part, but it's kind of hard, trying to be everywhere at once. But I think being able to have that open ear to listening to the people, to the owners of your league will definitely, contribute to the longevity of your league.
Who was the greatest mentor that you had coming up, developing your ability to be a leader and be in the role that you're in today?
My mom. Um, my mom's the best, man, and I thank her for everything that she's done for me, everything that we've been through. That's from the good and the bad, good, bad, and ugly, man. And everything that we've been through together, she smiled and you know had her head held high and her chest out, and just it built a lot in me. It made me the man that I am today. And no matter what you go through, it's always light at the end of the tunnel, and that's what I live by. And even with the rough times here, I continue to, keep my head held high and, pray about it and keep moving. So, I would just say my mom is the biggest contributor to my success and to my life and everything that I have going on now.
100%. And we always learn more from, our failures or what we believe to be not performing at our highest level, right? All as former players here on this podcast today, we learn from those more than our successes. And when people are opening doors for us, sometimes life seems like it's all rolling. It's when doors
Yeah,
remain shut that those people who are really in our corner step up for us and help shape us and who we need to be to meet that moment. Um,
absolutely.
so to answer me this question, women's tackle football in America will be
Mhm.
successful if.
It will be successful if we all come together, man. I think if every league decided to just sit down and have a conversation, I believe that everybody would be successful. The main goal here, I would just speak for me at the end of the day, is to see our ladies paid for the sport that they play. I know we're a long way from it, but I believe it starts at the table. If the WFA sat down, if the WNFC sat down, and the AWFL sat down and had a conversation about, just the growth of the game, I think we'll be a lot better off than where we are right now. Yeah, the WFA is on ESPN for certain games, and the WNFC has their championship game on ESPN, and that's great. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it's about the ladies that play this game, and if we're trying to make things successful, I think if we all came together and created something together, then I think we'll be more successful than we are right now. Because if you look at it, women's tackle football is being overlooked now for flag, and that's not a bad thing. But still, you have a lot of ladies that don't play flag, and they love tackle football. So I think if we all just sat down and had a conversation, I think we'll be better off. But we're still a long ways from that as well.
100%. And, I'm glad that you brought up flag as that's our next question. We've seen the growth of flag football for women across America, especially at the high school ranks, just grow immensely. For Shrep and Webb and I here in Oklahoma, we've seen it just take off. Tulsa East Central, an inner city school just to the north of where we've been based lately, has won state 2 years in a row. I'm pretty sure the Cardinals up there. And then you got college teams. We have club teams as well as Nebraska starting in spring 2028 will be the first Power Four school to grant scholarships. And these were scholarships that were given from the football program back over so they could create this scholarship flag football program. How do we develop youth programs where young ladies are playing tackle football or at least have that option in addition to the growth of flag football?
As far as the growth of flag or growth of tackle,
How do we get tackle football? How do we capitalize on the growth of flag football to get tackle football in there at a younger age for young ladies across America?
I think it starts with flag football. I mean, I think this is a step for women's football in its entirety. I think that once they see how these women play the game of flag football, maybe they'll have the conversations of taking that next step to making tackle football, a UIL sport or even
Mhm.
a college sport. But I think flag is definitely laying the concrete down for tackle football, and I think they have to watch and see how successful it is and then go from there. I know that the feminine side of women's tackle football is not there, and I know a lot of people just saying they don't want to see it, but a lot of these women can play this game,
Mhm.
and definitely a big shocker to me. But I think that uh, the development of flag football would definitely open up the door for women's tackle football. So we just have to see what it does.
100%. And seeing flag football coming up at the next Olympics, Summer Olympics in LA is going to be huge. The NFL's role in flag football is massive, I think, in the growth for both young men and young women and getting them involved in football, right? And so I grew up playing flag football, boys and girls, my local boys and girls club, and then transitioned over to tackle. And so I think that is a natural transition. So talking about transitioning over to the AWFL, in your inaugural year, you had 6 franchises, 6 teams, and now you've
Mhm.
grown to over 30, starting with the 2026 campaign. What is your vision for growth for the AWFL moving forward?
My vision is continue to remain who I am, and just continue to listen to the people that are around me. when I say the people that are around me, meaning like with Webb and other owners that are part of this league. Just listening to their opinions, listening to not even their complaints, because Webb doesn't complain a lot. He just pretty much makes a statement and he goes from there and expects a response. But a lot of the owners don't complain. They offer a lot of suggestions. And I appreciate that. And I think they appreciate the fact that I'm open to listening to them and I'm available to them when I can be. I think when Webb texts me, I try to text you back, Webb. If I don't text you back on time,
I
I
think it
try
was
to
just,
get back to
I think it was just one time. I think it was just one time.
I try to make myself available to them, man. And I think the path that we're on is going to be the same path that we remain on. It's just, like the slogan that we have is we're stronger together, and I believe that 100%. And we're only as strong as our weakest team. So I look at everybody the same. I treat everybody the same, and I'm never going to change that. And I think that will be the uprise the uprise to the AWFL. And everybody wants to say awful, awful. I hear you. And again, we're not paying attention to that. Again, the growth, like you said, from 6 to 18 to now 30, 34, 33 teams. That just shows, the possibilities are they're open. And I think that next year will be even better for us. And I'm just looking for more opportunities for these teams and for the ladies that play this game. Because again, we can't do anything without them. So I think the goal is going to stay the same. I'm going to stay the same, and we're just going to continue to grow from there.
How do you handle expansion and assessing a potential expansion market for the league?
Praying every day. I can tell you it's tough. It's definitely tough, and I just try to again prioritize and compartmentalize and try to make sure that I'm dealing with everybody one by one, because again you're dealing with a lot of personalities every day. But again, we just try to take these baby steps to grow. And the next step for us is to strike that deal, that television deal. Again, we don't want to be on ESPN. I've said that a million times. That's the next thing for us, the next step that we're going to take and taking these baby steps. So the next step for us, going into next year is trying to strike a television deal with whoever is available. So if you're watching, we're available for conversation.
You can hit up the commissioner. He's ready to make a deal. Talking about expansion, before we talk about something the league announced earlier, and I think it was in October, but how do we get more teams west to support the Tacoma Grit and give them some natural geographical rivals?
Well, I've had conversations with several teams out that way that are in other leagues right now, so I don't want to put their names out. But there are currently like 3 other teams that are looking to join us for 2027 to help the support with the Tacoma Grit. I know know 2 that have pretty much been solid on their commitment for coming next year. So that I'm excited about, and that'll pretty much, kill some of the travel that they have to go through. And I'm excited for that. One of the teams is not in any league, so I can pretty much say their name. It's the Antelope Valley Bricks. They've been around for about 3 years. They took last year off, but they're coming back, and they'll be coming out of LA. They'll be traveling from LA to play their games.
And LA isn't easy. I say that having been there a few times, but I mean, LA relatively is easy to get there. Most places, markets across the country is a direct flight, or at least at most one stop to get there. Even our little airport, the Tulsa International, which now has an international wing here in Northeast Oklahoma, it has direct flights to LA and Seattle now. So I don't know if Webb and Shrep, did you have direct flights or did you stop?
We got Southwest, but Alaska Airlines that now just started operation there has the direct flights to Seattle and San Francisco.
That's not bad.
No,
Not at
it
all.
wasn't. So it's the flight there. We stopped in Dallas and hopped up, and on the way back was Denver back to here. So
Yeah, it used to be a lot worse because when my main office was in Sacramento and then my secondary was in Reno, there could be 2 stops just to get there. And that's not a very long flight to get out west. So looking beyond kind of, we talked about, and I really like what you said, is there's existing clubs out there and maybe they're in a league, maybe they're not. That might be the easiest way to continue to have smart growth for the league, not just filling in out west geographically to support the Grit, but helping, and I think that goes back to the youth programs and what we were talking about earlier, Commissioner, is developing that up. And so you have that existing club and it's a natural transition. Being a soccer guy myself, having played soccer in college, and I played against Tyler because I went to Last Chance U. That's before JB. Because I could only imagine Coach JB and I just yelling at each other. So
I don't know. You might lose. You might lose that one.
I might lose that one. But then I'd have to tell him, like, look, I'm going to kick you a couple 50-yard field goals. I'm going to keep my mouth shut, and I'm going to have a good time. So I'm going to show up to class.
And the crazy thing about that, my first cousin played for him. Carlos Thompson played for JB, and he said he's a cool guy. I said, all you can get from him is on TV. So what you see is what you get. He said, man, that's him. So I can appreciate that. A lot of people don't like that coaching style, but I can appreciate it.
No, I can take that versus somebody that believes they're up in an ivory tower and they can't relate to the locker room.
Absolutely.
You want somebody that feels human, even if they're going to give it to you real.
Yeah.
When you need it the most.
Absolutely.
So previously the league had announced an international partnership with the Berlin Kobra Ladies over in Germany to launch the inaugural International Women's Football Week, scheduled to take place later this year. Is that still on track to happen for the league?
Yes, sir. It is. It's on track to happen. It'll happen in October. So right now we have our team pretty much ready to go. And their team is ready to go as well. So that's going to happen in October. Again, that's something that's being head up by Callie Blair of the Georgia Vipers. And also our new head coach, which is Tia Hopkins of the Carolina Stars. I'm excited for this venture. It's definitely something that a lot of ladies were looking forward to, especially a lot of teams that were coming over from the other league, WFA. I'm not gonna be like that. From the WFA, they were definitely interested in the international and seeing if we were going to embark on that journey, and we have. And I'm excited for that. And I think that there's something else going to happen in the near future that I'm also excited for that I really can't talk about right now, but it's going to be very exciting.
That's exciting. I'm just going to put in a word for myself here. I would love to be on that flight to go over there and do behind the scenes coverage. So I'm just putting that out there. Schwepp and Webb knew I was going to ask that question probably.
To Berlin? Berlin?
I've been to Europe. Yeah.
Okay.
I traveled the world before kids. These guys have hear about
we can talk after this.
Rod, let me tell you, this dude, I don't know how he's had so many lifetimes, but he's packed so much into whatever life he has right now. I don't understand it. He finds out new things every single time we talk.
Hey, look, being a girl dad of two, it slows you down. But it fills your cup, right? And so
it slows you down?
It slows you down to enjoy the moment. For sure. I said before, I was going at a breakneck pace, man.
He said, wait a second, I'm not slowing down.
Listen, it's picked up for me. I mean, I guess we can have that sidebar as well. So I don't, I like to know how you do it.
Gotta learn the tricks of the trade.
I'm not catching flights. So like most of my stuff that I do is pretty close compared to before, like when I was in California and going coast to coast and international. So I'm appreciative of that time and being present with them and, helping them. Like my oldest is about to be 4, so she'll start playing sports soon. I want her to play, flag football, start off with there and see where it goes, play soccer. She already does gymnastics. Like, I don't know where you stand on that, Commissioner, but I think the more that we can have kids playing all different types of sports and not focus solely on one at the age of 4 or 5, then I think we get better as a country across the board at every sport.
I agree. Well, my daughter's my youngest is 3-sport athlete as well. So she runs track, volleyball, and plays basketball as well. But she keeps me pretty busy. So that's why I was talking about the slowing down part. And my oldest plays volleyball, but she's in college now. So, but it's picked up a lot since they began to play sports. So yeah, that's slowing down. I really want to know about that.
Well, sidebar. I think my life.
McDonald's drive-through protect.
Yeah. McDonald's. What's
I know.
I didn't eat McDonald's that much as a kid, so I'm just trying to figure out what's in the fries now.
Hey, okay. What is that? What is it like? What is the word I'm looking for? That's like the meat sauce or oil, towel, something. You know what I'm saying? So they went back to it. It was a big trending thing. They're like, we went back to this oil. So here, we're from Texas, Oklahoma. And we said oil. We just said oil. Oh,
That oil.
oh,
Oh, that
you got that oil. You got that oil money.
oh,
Yeah.
Who talking about oil? You cooking?
You could-
Gotta leave it. That's that Dave Chappelle reference. All right, well,
Yep.
Hey, I plead the fifth. That's like the fifth skit.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4, 5.
Wow. Why did you go to Iraq? Oil? Yes, I grew up on Dave Chappelle.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this question. We talked about growth of the league. Let's also talk about some things that have happened where we've seen some teams leave the AWFL during the regular season this year. First of all, up north to our friends in Kalamazoo, Michigan. They're home to the Western Michigan Broncos. I can never wear that uniform, just brown and white. I would look awful in that kit. But the Kalamazoo Bears were in the AWFL and they had to cease operations during this year. Will we see them back in the AWFL again?
That's up in the air. I have to have a conversation with that owner. It came down to her roster. In the commitment of, I would just say the commitment of everyone. So I just don't want to put it on the players. It's just a situation that's a sensitive one. And I definitely have to have a conversation with her at the end of the season to see where she is and what's her plan going forward, coming into 2027. And if it's something that we can both agree on, then I don't see an issue with her returning. But it has to be a very, very strong plan. Very strong.
Are there
convincing plan. Very convincing plan.
Are there ways that the league can intervene to avoid future franchises shutting down during the regular season in the future?
Yeah, we did our best this year. We do our best to vet teams and see where they are with their rosters. Again, we can only go by what they present to us. So once they present that they have 25, 30 players on the team, then we feel like they're strong enough to compete and complete a season. And sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. Things happen. Again, you're dealing with women's football, so you never know what happens. So I think this became down to a roster issue. She went from 25 to 15, and then it started trending downward after that. So she had to cut her season short, and but I think the best thing that we can do is continue to try to help the teams the best way we can, keeping that open line of communication. And I help my teams recruit as well. So anything that I can do on my end where it comes to flyers or anything like that, I do my best to do my part and help them recruit their players as well.
Is there a minimum age for a young lady to join the AWFL and to join a franchise out there?
The youngest we've had was 18. I think this year I've seen 17. But those have been signed consents, written consents, and signed by those parents for those players to play. So that's the youngest I've seen so far this season.
Well,
which was 17.
The reason I bring that up, again, with Western Michigan being right there in Kalamazoo, is to potentially tap it into, a Division I program, a university, albeit smaller than Ann Arbor and East Lansing to the east there. But that's still somewhere you can tap in and hopefully recruit some young ladies out there to join the program and get the roster numbers up so we can see the Kalamazoo Bears hopefully back.
Absolutely.
Now, kind of the hottest topic in the league, as I'm sure you've seen on social media, is what's happening or what happened down in Hotlanta, or better known as the ATL to all of us folks in America.
Yeah.
The league. So the Atlanta Phoenix, who were the runner-up last year in the Emerald Bowl 2, how did the league get to this point with removing the Atlanta Phoenix from the AWFL?
I can tell you last year that, again, much respect to the ladies of the Atlanta Phoenix, much respect to those players that play for the Atlanta Phoenix. They're a very, very, very well coached team. I think it just came down to the business side of things and availability of the individuals of that organization. It just, they weren't available for a lot of things. And if you just say, if you're working and your boss is calling these meetings and you're missing your meetings and you're missing these important meetings that you need to be a part of, at some point you're going to have a conversation with your boss. Then the next step would be a written, and then you'll go on and so on and so on. And it just got to the point where it just felt like it was negligent.
Mhm.
But again, it's respect to that organization. No, nothing personal at all. And I'm going to say that through and through. But it's just the business side of things. They weren't available for a lot of things, and it ultimately ended up in us separating, going our different ways.
I appreciate your feedback on that tough situation. It's tough losing a franchise in the league,
Absolutely.
especially one that had been so successful, and it
Yes.
was off to a great start so far in 2026.
Yes.
Speaking of the Emerald Bowl, right? The league is getting ready to approach Emerald Bowl 3 down in San Antonio, which is
Man.
awesome for us here in Oklahoma because, hey, if we make it based off the playoff implications that were released today, the bracket as if it ended today, we would have the number 1 seed for the Oklahoma Rage in the Southwest Conference and get that much coveted bye. So we would get another week off. And I mean, it's only what, 9 hours to San Antonio?
Shorter than what we just got back from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
Oh my God.
Mississippi at a later point.
fresh out the car back onto the to the podcast.
Welcome home, B. Welcome home.
So kind of talk about the format of the AWFL playoffs. We know we have the 2 conferences, and on the other side, in the Northeast Conference, there's 3 undefeated teams there at the top of the rankings. So kind of talk about the format and what fans can look forward to when we do move into the playoffs.
Well, we've gone with the top 14, top 7 from each side. 17 bracket. The number 1 seed receives the first round bye. So initially 7 would go to 2, 6 would go to 3, 5 would go to 4. That's what we've been running since the first year. So it's going to be a lot of action-packed games, I believe, once the playoffs start. One of the great teams right now that I'm keeping my eye on is a team in Oklahoma. I'm expecting great things from them. We're not gonna say their name right now, but I think they know who they are. And also on the other side, like you said, you mentioned there are 3 undefeated teams over there. But I think coming after this, because we have a bye this week. After this week, I think the New York Knockout see the Upstate Lady Predators, and both of those teams are undefeated. So I think we'll only have 2 teams that are undefeated after that matchup. But I think that every game's going to be intense. Every game's going to be exciting. And before that happens, I want to have a meeting with all those teams and get some things ironed out and make sure everybody understands. Make sure the officials understand that this is very pivotal to everybody playing this game for these next rounds of playoffs. So I think a lot of people can expect to have again some very intense games, very hard hitting games, and again, like I said, this Oklahoma team, I'm keeping my eye on them, and hopefully they can make it all the way down to San Antonio because it's only how far is it, Brandon? How far is it from Oklahoma?
9 hours from here.
All right, it's from 9 hours, so
It's an
hopefully we
hour
can see
shorter.
them.
Not a whole lot shorter, but an hour shorter is good.
Hour shorter from Mississippi. Yeah. So hopefully we can see them down there in San Antonio. But if you want me to touch on the Emerald Bowl itself, I can. Emerald Bowl that weekend, we try to make it 2 days, but every game we try to make it 1 day. Let me put it like that. So at the beginning of that day, we have our All Pro game. The All Pro game will probably be around 12 or 1 o'clock, and then the championship game will follow around 7 o'clock. So we try to give everybody time to get home, dress, shower, and get ready for the championship game. And then after that, we have a great old time, and that's after the game. But everything is going to be pretty cool. I think we have some things that are going to be set that I really can't release at this moment, and I really want to give you that. But we have some things that are lined up. I think that's going to definitely be something that the people in the flag world will love. So I gave you that snippet. There you go.
There we go.
When you're ready
The
to
dog
release
agreed.
it, when you're ready to release it, come back on.
Come back on.
Absolutely.
Where will the
Absolutely.
games be played at? What stadium?
It's
will
going to
it
be
played?
at Wheatley Sports Complex. That's where it'll be in San Antonio.
So that's the last time we'll mention San Antonio because I know that Shrep here is excited for the Oklahoma City Thunder to take on the San Antonio Spurs in the much anticipated Western Conference Final. So
Oh boy.
it's an anti-San Antonio podcast right now as we make it through. So
Absolutely.
Can't wait
I'm
till
just
we get
hoping my
next.
Knicks make it to the finals.
it's also really an anti-Eagles podcast.
All right.
but
All right.
we
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave. Y'all have a good one.
from a fellow Chiefs fan, I don't really
Grant said he a Steelers fan, man. Listen.
Don't
Yeah, I
turn
heard
me
that.
now.
I had to keep my cool when he said that. I was like, a Steelers fan. Wait a
Go
minute.
to the kingdom with Webb. We already got that signed, almost blood
You're right.
written in the
He's
Right.
van.
We brought you over.
He's being traded to the Chiefs Kingdom there.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Formally
So
committing.
wait, Brandon Chiefs Kingdom?
Yeah.
No, it's Chiefs
Oh,
Kingdom.
we all daddy, man. It's all good.
Hey, one time. One time.
That one time that's a good one time.
We got the belt. We got the belt that one time. I give it to
Absolutely.
you.
You got
It
the
was
big time
BTA
belt.
all day. BTA all day. Yeah. I enjoy it though. It's cool.
How are the all pro selections made for the league for that game there on championship weekend?
Well, unlike everyone else, we leave that up into the hands of the coaches and the owners of that organization. It's pretty much based on stats and their performance. But again, the league, I feel that we can't make that selection for them. So it's up to those coaches and that ownership of that organization to make that selection. Everybody's awarded a certain amount depending where they are in the rankings, and we just go with what they select. So everybody that they give us, that's who we roll with. So we're gonna trust that they're pretty much solid selections, and we roll with it. We don't tell anyone who to choose. We don't tell anyone what we need as a league, but it's up to them. It's in their hands.
Yeah, that's awesome because the fan vote. I mean, I like the fan vote, but then like the NBA All-Star game, you start getting players in there. You're like, they haven't been good in like 5-6 years.
Absolutely.
So-
I agree with that. The fan vote is cool, but it's a fan vote. So that player again was terrible the entire season, but yet you get to be in a Pro Bowl. But that's cool too.
So last serious question before we have some non-football questions here. When it's all said and done and you walk away from the game, whenever that may be, what do you want people to remember about you, Ron?
That I was fair. I was open and easy to talk to, easy to communicate with, and I did it the right way. Again, there's no one that can get rich off of this, and if you're trying, you're going to fail, big time. I do it because I love it, and not just the game of women's football. I love the game of football. Period. I'm a big track guy, but I love football as well. So, I that's what I want people to remember me as is just being open, being honest, and being easy to talk to.
100%. Football is family. It's so crazy that for so long, especially the big league, right, viewed football in one way, right? There was only men like football, right, or only athletes with previous athletic experience like football. And we figured out along the way there's so many different entry points to the game, and that's what makes the game so great and so unique to us here in America. And now it's just spreading like crazy. We'll see the 49ers and the LA Rams, almost at St. Louis being a Southern guy. But the LA Rams, the Fighting Stan Kroenkes out there, will go to Australia to play in Melbourne. I mean, that's wild. If you would have told us that 10, 15 years ago, that they're going to play an NFL regular season division game all the way down under. So you can watch the last episode to see my take about what's going on in Australia. Shrep and Webb and I discussed the Run Nation Championship. I don't know if you've seen that, Rod. People are just big Samoan dudes are just running headfirst into each other with no protective gear.
I watch that. I watch
you
that.
do?
Yeah, it's different, man. I honestly, I challenge any football player to do that. Like, that's wild. That's just those dudes are coming very fast and they're very huge, and it's
Yeah.
it's
No longer be on your side. I'm telling you, they'll drop you.
they will drop you. Oh my gosh.
It's worth every bit of the 14 grand you get if you win.
And man,
Well, here's the deal. Like, ever since that point, Tuck, of course, I sent you the videos of when we talk about it, it's going to come across my feed. I think I'm developing a little bit of a strategy here. I'm not going to go public with it yet, just in case we want to go get that 20 grand as a team. Webb, Tuck, Rod, you can join. So I think I might have it cooked up for us. Not going to release it yet.
don't release it. Don't let them have it.
Yeah.
Don't drop that. Don't drop that yellow cake. Don't you drop it.
I'm also still convinced that I can become king of England. After watching that documentary about the real king that's out there that lives in Australia, I'm still convinced that if I pull Excalibur out of a big rock there in the UK, I can make it happen. So if I do make it to Germany in October, I might take the channel, which I've taken before under the English channel there, and try to go pull out the stone. So from rags to riches will be my story, because I definitely don't have a bloodline like that. So to follow that up, I don't know
Oh
how
my
you do, but
God.
we're going to try, boys. Rod, are aliens real?
Man. Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna
Yes.
say yes. Yes.
All right.
They are real. They
I will-
are real.
A true
Just-
believer.
True believer. Go to
Hey.
war.gov/UFO. You can see the information yourself. Webb is not a believer. He thinks that those are all, doctored up documents.
Oh
Tell
man.
you one, they are. Now, whether aliens are real or not, I don't know. But those documents are all fake. They're all
That's
messed up.
crazy how they became 4K over 20 years. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're real to me. And I don't want to see one, so I'm good. I'll stick to the pictures.
I couldn't imagine, like we were joking about it on last episode, like if there was like a team, like even football, like it was just all aliens, right? Like 4-foot dudes, especially when the Mexican government brought out like the body. I don't know if you saw that. That was pretty funny. Definitely was not real. I do not believe that one, but what a world we live in. Welcome to 2026. Speaking of things that kind of make us go, huh? What has been making you rage out lately in your life?
Gas prices.
Gas prices.
Yeah, I drive a 392 Charger, and it's tearing me up every day. I think it's $5.66 I'm paying per gallon. That's really making me go crazy right now. So I think that's the only thing that's making me rage out.
You
Other
stay
than
in
the
Houston,
fact
right?
that yeah, I live in Houston.
Yeah, I'm not coming.
You know, all that all yeah, all that all.
Oil price.
But yeah, man, that's I can say that's the only thing making me rage out right now is gas prices. I can't wait to see them go back down to lower than $5, lower than 4. But other than that, I'm not complaining or raging about anything else.
Okay, so if I read you the script for the movie, the original Fast and Furious, then we could all squat up and we could just go capture the oil trucks that are transferring the oil from the port of Houston around the country. We could do it.
Absolutely.
We just need some little Hondas and Subarus.
We can't do it. We can't do it now because you said it.
I know, we're caught. But somebody else can follow the exact script of the movie, The Fast and Furious, where we're family. We're
Give you the
family.
chocolate.
Not that we're family.
Family. Hey, that dude, God bless Vin Diesel, man. If I could just make a whole career off one movie franchise, and I get it. Some people could say, look, he was in Triple X, right? Which
Yeah.
I'm all about action movies, even if they're a little bit different. I watched The Expendables, totally not believable. A bunch of old white dudes doing all those things, not believable. But for real, just follow the movie script. So, Mr. Commissioner, we've enjoyed having you on the Rage Bait Football Podcast. We appreciate everything that you do
Thank
for
you.
the AWFL and for having that vision and that courage to step up and to create this league for everybody and for supporting women in football and women in sports in general across our great country.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys having me. It was a blast. I definitely enjoyed every minute of it. You guys are hilarious, and we should do this again, most definitely.
100%. We'll be right back after a short break to end the Rage Bait Football Podcast with our own trending topics and what's making us rage out. I can tell you mine has something to do with an appliance at my house.